Hello my friends, and welcome to today's episode of Daily Dose of Stupid. We don't have a particular theme this time around, although I did poll the comments from three main videos, mostly being the Arcane Odyssey Q&A, the YBA April Fools video, as well as, oddly enough, the Project Smash video. That one was a weird one. And honestly, that's probably actually a good starting point. So why don't we kick off with the first stupid from the Project Smash video, and that is, Eclipse, you know what would be fun? Seeing you make actually half-decent videos. Like seriously, these videos are completely low effort and just seem like a cash grab at this point. I mean, what kind of lunatic would play a rip-off Smash Bros. On a brick game platform when you literally have the real thing right in front of you? And don't lie, Eclipse, I know you have Smash Bros. So honestly, what would really be fun is if you actually made decent original content that's not just playing some rip-off game and claiming you're having fun with it for clout. Wow. That's a lot to unpack. I think the first thing that I'll say on this front is I never really think that a lot of my videos are all that high effort, and they never really have been. If you go back, there are some videos that I'm proud of, but for the most part, it's putting things out in order to get them on schedule. I want to keep people entertained, but I also don't spend weeks and weeks putting together specific videos. Sometimes I do, and I think it's pretty obvious when things have taken a few weeks to actually come out, but for the most part, I put videos together in a day or two because, well, I have to do that, otherwise my schedule just wouldn't exist. That being said, this comment is a perfect showcasing that I can't win. If I hate on games and get upset, people shit on me. If I enjoy games and I don't shit on them, people shit on me. What do you want from me? Should I be neutral on every game? You know, this game is okay. It's not horrible, but it's not good. That's every game I play. No! And the interesting thing about Project Smash is, I think that a lot of the takes that I had in the video were based off of first impressions that probably weren't even true, but I still had fun playing it for the video. There's a comment in here that hopefully we'll get around to, or maybe I'll just skip to it right now. Why don't we skip to it right now? Hang on, let me go find it. Here it is, from Tamo6749. They say, I was just having fun in the first few hours until I left and came back to play the game again, just to see that everyone had better classes. Valkyrie had a brain-dead combo, Monks had an even more brain-dead combo, etc. This game loses its fun when you're level 10 or above. And that was one of the things that I figured would be the case. I figured there was a decent chance of that being the case, and I mentioned it in the video. But the point wasn't, this game falls off and suddenly becomes miserable after you get past level 10. The point was I jumped in and played for an hour or two and I enjoyed the time while I was playing. Am I not allowed to do that? No fun allowed, I guess. I don't know. And on the topic of real Smash Bros, I won't even entertain the fact that despite having similar mechanics, these two games play radically different from each other with completely different movement systems. This is a 3D game versus a 2D game, which changes everything. But regardless, Smash has been on this channel before, man. Take a wild guess as to how well that went. And then look at this video. I gotta pay the bills, man. What do you want me to do, starve? The next few comments are going to be coming from the YBA April Fools video, because some people, I guess, despite having April Fools at the end of the video and in the title of the video, they didn't get the joke, or alternatively, they just had brain aneurysms, I guess. I don't know. But this guy says, how do you go from comparing every game to YBA to hating on it? He's always riding it. Excuse me? I don't know how many times I have to say this. I really don't. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'll be saying it till I'm on my deathbed and dying. YBA fundamentally revolutionized the mechanics for fighting games on Roblox. It did several things that basically no game was doing back then. Whether it be the high damage, not true comboing M1s, or the fact that everything worked off of cooldowns with no ultimate bars or anything like that, or the fact that they gave literally every single ability in the game an evasive on a 7-second cooldown with Barrage. Nobody was doing that shit, so it was already hard to combo people because of the lack of M1s, and then you could break out of combos with your Barrage, assuming you didn't screw it up. It totally changed combat. And regardless of how you feel about the game or how the combat actually played, because I have my choice words on that, the end-all be-all is that the systems were revolutionary. But the problem that people seem to have is they seem incapable of having any sort of nuanced opinions whatsoever, or understanding any nuanced opinions. For God's sakes, they don't even know what that word means. So me saying this is fucking pointless. Here's the definition. So if you don't know what that word means, now you do. Word of the day. But do people not understand that you're allowed to like or appreciate things that a game did, but then not appreciate or like other things, compare and contrast those, and not just have a black and white opinion of this sucks and is irredeemably garbage, or this is the greatest game of all time and completely just total horseshit? Because there's in between. You're allowed to have opinions that aren't black and white. I hope to God you learn that before you grow up, because as someone who's already an adult, there are way too many current adults that see in black and white, and it's not good. So I really hope you learn that. This guy echoes something similar and says, "Bro, leave the game alone. If you don't like it, don't play it. I love your channel, but for fuck's sakes." I don't talk about this game though. This video came out like, why do you complain about YBA so much? Like, man, every time I see one of your videos, it's almost always about YBA and you're always complaining. What? Alrighty, let's take a look here. Okay, so there's the April Fools video. Yep, so I'm gonna scroll, and I'm gonna scroll, and I'm gonna scroll, and there it is. 4 months ago. 4 months ago! 4 fucking months, man! Every video? Are you blind? Lol, bro gets no views, so he too get back at his money cow. Smile. That was a sentence and a half. But yeah, you know, you're right, man. None of my videos get any views. And that's the reason that this video was made, because I was just so desperate. None of my videos, nobody watches them. The final stupid for today, which is going to be a little bit more involved because it doesn't just address one person, is going to be from the Arcane Odyssey Q&A, because a lot of Arcane Odyssey cult followers came to that video and were very, very upset with one of the things that I said, which was that Deep Woken was just a better Arcane Odyssey, which, sorry, not sorry, because I still believe that. But that didn't stop a mountain of followers of Arcane Odyssey from coming to the comments section and making a whole bunch of non-arguments about how because Deep Woken is a hardcore game and Arcane Odyssey is not, then they're completely different games. Which, like, I don't know how that's the conclusion that you drew, but I will attempt to explain myself, even though I know full well you're going to ignore everything that I say, because Arcane Odyssey, like I said, its followers are just so unbelievably devout and cultish that they will play the game and they will glaze the game no matter what it does. I think what a lot of people that complained to me in the comments of this comment section didn't quite understand is the fact that I have played both of these games borderline to completion for at least the times that I played them. So Arcane Odyssey, I did all of the stuff up until the final boss of the game at that time, of which since then there have been, I think, maybe 3 updates. So I find it very, very hard to believe that the game in between those 3 updates has suddenly become unrecognizable from when I played it. I just find that hard to believe. Arcane Odyssey is a game where you sail from island to island, looking for gear, leveling up your character, fighting in PvE as well as fighting in PvP. Deepwoken is just that, but with infinitely better PvP, infinitely better PvE, better exploration, better environments, and just like the list goes on. I don't know what you'd have to be blind or just have never played Deepwoken, which is my only guess here. I can only assume that a lot of these people have simply never played Deepwoken, and I guess the player counts sort of show that in of itself. You can look at it. Deepwoken, game you gotta pay for, more people are playing it. You gotta wonder why? I don't, because it's just a better game. There's more to do, more content, and the content that's there is better. So if you're given the choice, well, the choice is clear, it's obvious. People in the comments are like, Eclipse, you gotta do exploration, you gotta go from island to island. Some guy compared it to Breath of the Wild, which is just like, you gotta be on drugs to do that. But it's like, do you really think that going from one island to another island and then opening up some boxes and picking up some items is like good gameplay, and that's better than the way that Deepwoken does it? Because, well, I sure as hell don't. Anyways, like I said, I think a lot of these people appear reasonable at face value, but when you actually read the things that they've been saying, well, that's where the reason basically gets thrown straight into the dumpster. Anyways, that's wrapping up the stupids for today, so we're gonna go into the nice and or funny comments for today's video. The first is from Uranus 144. That's quite the name. And they say, listen, Eclipse, I'm gonna have to really disagree with you here. YBA doesn't, and I can't stress this enough, does not have a quest that lets you kill 8 snowman. Therefore, this game cannot be a masterpiece. You got me. You got me. It's not a masterpiece. It's a 9.9 out of 10, not a 10 out of 10, because you cannot kill 8 snowmans. I'm sorry. I apologize, truly. Lyric Likes Cheese says, and this is from, I believe, the Stand Power video. Stand Power parenthesis S and parenthesis, sorry, my bad. And it says, if you ever run out of JoJo-themed experiences to play, you can always just shit on their mobile gameplay in a whole different video, because, well, that's a really big reason to hate Roblox experiences. I like their use of experiences instead of games. But regardless, yeah, this is an interesting topic, and it's one of the things that I almost made a video in of itself about way long ago. I was gathering comments and footage and getting things from people about mobile experiences way back when I used to make daily YBA videos to talk about the mobile experience and how games can make it better and how mobile players themselves feel like it can be made better, because I think what ends up happening with a lot of these games is, I mean, unsurprisingly so, the developers of the games are developing them on PC, and if they're doing that, they probably also play on PC. So I think a lot of them don't even really think or understand too well about how a mobile player would like the game to play for them. And so then you just get the developer's best guess on what a good mobile experience is. So I think this is mostly phrased as a joke, but I do legitimately think that it could be an interesting video idea. I'm not sure if it'll ever happen, but I saw it and it piqued my interest, so I put it on here. This is also from that same video, and it's from SuperSnake2832, and they say, the arrogance in this game requires skill, not luck, pisses me off, especially when the game looks like my dog's shit that I bag and put into the trash. That was brutal. But yeah, a lot of people, not just this guy, commented on the end death quotes that show up when you die in Stand Power parenthesis S and parenthesis, which I always thought was really funny, and I should have mentioned in my video. It just missed the cut. But yeah, it is really ironic when you can I just imagine the amount of times that like someone's gotten one-shot infinite comboed and died, and then it goes, this game requires skill, and you're just sitting there looking at your screen like, oh, kill me. So yeah, that was funny. Didn't make the video, but it made it in here. This next one's from the YBA video, and it says, with the Battlegrounds game, I find it so funny that he said there won't be delays like YBA because there are different devs working on it, while the literal release of the game is already 3 months delayed with no new release date. I just, like, I look on and it's just, as a now outsider, it's phenomenal. I feel bad for myself in the past, but I also can't imagine how funny it must have been for the people on the outside that used to see my videos way back when I was like complaining about YBA every single week and they would never do anything and things would get delayed over and over again. And my dumbass was sitting there like, maybe I could do something. Maybe I could do something. And there were definitely people like I am now with this stupid Battlegrounds garbage that had like no intention of logging on to YBA, but they were pointing and looking at me and they're like, look at that idiot. He thinks that something's gonna change. What a moron. And now the script has been completely flipped. Now it's me. So now I'm sitting there and I'm like, these idiots think that the Battlegrounds game's gonna come out on time. These idiots think that YBA is still gonna get updates. Like, you'd have to be fucking blind. You'd have to be blind and deaf and have a brain lobotomy in order to think those things are true. But people do. They really do. And it's hilarious. It really is hilarious. And the final comment for today comes from Jaguarden. Sorry, I pronounced that wrong. And it says, YBA is so close to being a good Roblox game, but personally, I dislike how this game forces me to use my keyboard. They should update it so your stands don't do anything, and you get them by spinning AFK overnight. Rename it to Uzu's RNG, then maybe I'll give it a try. You heard it here first, Uzu. Uzu RNG, get on it.